Hey guys, welcome to the February update. I'm gonna try to think of a name for these, because I don't want it to just be February update, March update, April update. Almost said May update before April update. I'm a fucking idiot. Anywho, I want to talk about just kind of every month, do a quick little update or just kind of talk about stuff. I'll try not to just say this show, this is going to happen, this show, this is going to happen. I'll try to keep it almost like podcast like, so maybe it's slightly interesting to listen to, but if you have no interest in, if you're just kind of okay with whatever I'm going to do, that's fine, then ignore these videos. But if you're actually curious to know what my focus will be for the month, then check these out, because I'll be talking about basically every month whether I'm going to be active on YouTube or not, or whether I'm going to be like what projects I'm going to choose to focus on. And I just want to kind of talk about that stuff for a while. I actually have like specific shows I want to talk about, and then like some of the details of things I'd like to improve on this month. So we're kind of taking a detour away from Bemis and Company. Not that there won't be any episodes this year, and I have stated this in updates before, but our focus, like I'm trying to put focus back on Cameraman now, because Cameraman went for a 5-month delay. And then I finally got episode 6 out, and I'm working on episode 7. I started working on it immediately after. The good thing about episode 7, the advantage, is the entire thing was already filmed, so I've been editing it. The disadvantage is that it's, which is actually kind of a cool thing at the same time, though. This episode, I think, will be worth it when it comes out. I'm very burpy today, excuse me. Because, like, episode 7 has a lot of visual editing to do. Almost, like, there's a point in the episode where every single shot has effects in it, minor little touches to it, and I'm really trying to make sure it's interesting to look at. I'm trying to make it look good, but yeah, like I'm definitely putting a lot. I'm definitely putting a lot of time into that. So that's gonna. God, I'm gonna freeze up like this constantly too. I don't want to do a bunch of takes on these, but yeah. So like that's a disadvantage with episode 7. It's gonna take longer to make, but it's definitely not gonna take 5 months long. And I've been working on it a little bit every day. I think within a couple of weeks, if I continue to work on it, and within a couple of weeks, as long as I spend like an hour a day or maybe 2 hours a day, I can probably get it done. It's a shorter episode, but again, it's probably the most visually interesting episode of the entire show so far. And it probably will remain that for a while, just because there's specific circumstances with this episode where the entire thing, it's actually more about the visuals than the story in this one. It's just supposed to be a cool looking episode, and I hope people enjoy it when it comes out. That is actually where the focus is put in. A lot of the stuff was completely improvised during the shooting of it. There were scenes that were written out, but this one's just kind of an episode that I wanted to have fun with, and hopefully people will like it. If they don't, then I won't do it again. It's not laziness, it's just, I mean, maybe you could call it laziness to an extent, but it was easier to shoot, I should say, because of the way I wanted to do it, which might actually sound backwards, since I said visually it's supposed to be more interesting, but it was easier to shoot. You'll see what I'm talking about when it's out. You'll see what I'm referring to. With Bemis and Company, I actually have a big idea for an episode that I'd love to do, and I wrote an entire outline for it. I sent it to Fred. Fred loved it too. I'm going to talk to Nick and Tariq and Gage about it. I want their ideas too. I want like all of us to pour ideas into this one. I don't want it to just be written by me because it's a big one. But it's definitely going to take a while before we actually start working on it, because again, Cameraman, me and Tariq are working on our movie, and we're hoping to start filming that. I was going to say spring. I don't think we're going to be ready by then. I really don't. So summer, I'm hoping we'll be ready to shoot it. And feeling a little bit under the weather today, guys. Sorry if you can hear it in my voice or notice an excessive amount of coughing. I don't know. I don't think I've been coughing that much, actually. But yeah, this is probably not the best time to record this, but whatever. Like I said, I want to get this out there. But yeah, Bemis and Company isn't going to be a focus this month at all. There is a short Bemis and Company episode that's being worked on. There's a chance it'll come out this month, but it's a very, very, very short one. It is a Bemis and Company episode, but it's like featuring. It's kind of like the Dorm Buddies episode, where every single character, it's a non-canon event, and the characters who are shown in the video aren't exactly, Michael, Nick, Fred. It's us playing different characters, but it's still a Bemis and Company episode. It still falls into that category, I think. And it's a very, very short video, but it's an interesting one because most of it was done, like, there is multiple shots, but I think it's like 4 really long, detailed shots, so it's interesting. It's something new. It's something new, and I hope you guys like that it's new. Across the Fourth Wall, nothing new to say about it this month. I am saying that I'm not positive we're even going to finish or not. I would like to. One thing that I will announce this month, though, is that if we don't, I will release everything that we did finish. I'm not trying to make it sound like there's no hope for the show, but it is, most of us have moved on from it. It is hard to say for sure. I'd like to finish it. Tariq would like to finish it. I think Nick would even like to finish it. So there's a good chance we'll finish it, but at the same time, we also want to make these other films. We also want to work on we want to work on Cameraman rather than Across the Fourth Wall. But we still have a lot of, care for the Across the Fourth Wall characters. We still want to conclude their story. If we do end up going the route of releasing it, just what we finished, at the very least, I can say you will get to see how it was going to end, because the ending scene is one of the things that we made, one of the things that we shot, and it's almost completely edited too. But there's like a big fight scene at the end that needs to be done still, and it's possible. It's very possible that we'll still do it. It's just gonna have to be like a very available week, and I do think we'd have to finish it within a week, just because, again, if we're gonna do it, we want it to look good, but we also have to get it over with. Like, we have to get it out of the way because there's other stuff we want to work on, and I'll say this now too, I don't think I've said it in a video yet. Literally every single one of us has like a busier schedule now. Like, everyone's going to school, almost everyone's going to school right now, and everybody's working. Some people are working like almost every single day. Some people are working at nighttime, so they're always sleeping during the daytime. It's it's hard to find time to shoot with people. It's not impossible. We don't go ridiculous amount of times without shooting with each other. And I still see, Nick, Tariq, Gage, and Fred all the time, but, we're getting busier, and it's only going to get busier as time goes by now. I want to improve some things with Cameraman as I'm working on it, especially with this new episode. I'm trying to let that be a test for me to see, like, just how flawless I can try to make the episode, at least from a technical standpoint. I think Cameraman so far has been a pretty strong show, writing-wise. At least I see it that way. It's my own work, so obviously I'm going to see it. I'm going to appreciate it more than anyone else would, because it's mine. So someone else might look at it and say, oh God, it's terrible writing, but I personally like the storytelling of it. But I think that every single episode, funny enough, I think the only episode that doesn't have any technical issues whatsoever is episode 2, the really short one. And maybe episode 3. There might be something about that episode that I don't like. I'm trying to think about it. 1, 4, and 5 definitely do. 6 only has minor things, actually. But 4, I think, is like the worst episode, from a technical standpoint. And it's because a big part of like the technical issues that come from some of the videos I released, especially if Across the Fourth Wall, for a long time, like, there was only audio coming out of one side of I think the left or right headphone. Like, if you put headphones on, you can only hear it for like the right side. But with Cameraman, the problems are, like, with episode 4, the problems were like a lot worse than that. And the main reason stuff like that happened is because not only am I working on a bunch of different projects, because I can't bring myself to only work on one. It's not something I'm willing to do. I would get bored if I do that. But that's why I took such a big break from Cameraman and put more focus on Bemis and Company, which again has switched around now. But it's also because, I want to get stuff out, and I don't want to have to spend way too much time on it. And it's because I'm not getting paid to do this. There really is only so much time I can put into a video, because I don't like having nothing up, like a 7-month gap in between videos. And I know that, like, you might be saying, oh, I'm holding myself back. I would never rush something I'm doing that I'm getting paid for. Like, if it's something for like companies I work for, or like just like a freelance job, or even something for school, I never half-ass it. I always give it my absolute all. With YouTube, I try not to half-ass it. I really try not to, but sometimes I have to rush through a couple things in order to get it out. In episode 4, there's tons of examples of that. I like episode 4 because I think Alec was great as Noah. I like Amanda doing Rebecca Oh My God. I like the story too, and I like that I actually got shots on campus. And I like the whole thing with Andrew and Soli at the beginning of the episode. I think that stuff is good. But then you have that like really shitty fire effect when they're burning the books, and then the entire class scene is god awful because it's like the green screening was really bad. Gage's audio was messed up. Andrew, for some reason I was too lazy to put my, like, Andrew behind a green screen, so I just used a white wall and said that was acceptable, and no, it wasn't. If you watch episode 4 again, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's tons of technical issues with episode 4. Tons. And I look back at that episode and just wish I could have just taken a little bit more time to do this. I could have taken a little bit more time to do that. And while I do think that sometimes I have to rush projects just in order to actually release them, I think that episode 4 of Cameraman was just too low for me. Because I think that the effort that did go into it almost like comes off as pointless because of how little effort went into other parts. And it wasn't like I wasn't trying to make the green screen look good. It just, I didn't shoot it properly. It didn't work. But basically, I half-assed stuff that I really shouldn't have. And again, I do think that sometimes I have to half-ass stuff a little bit just in order to actually get them out. Because again, I don't want to wait 8 months to release something. But, I need to do better than episode 4 of Cameraman. And I think episode 6 was pretty good for the most part. I might look back at it a few months from now and say, oh, like, start to notice more problems I had with it. But I think I properly color graded it. I think that the audio was good for the most part. I think that, I think for the most part there's like a few shots during the scene with Andrew and Kyle speaking to each other when they were actually at Kyle's house, where Andrew had like a little bit too much head space because I like lowered my head a little bit, but that's it. Like, that's the only thing I can think about in that episode that wasn't good. So I think episode 6 was a step up. I think episode 5 for the most part was fine too. I just think that like the little montage at the end could have been shot a lot better. Okay. Yeah, again, not feeling my 100% today, guys. Sorry. So I'm going on about that. But that's like a big thing I want to focus on with this episode 7 and just this month in general. Is like really trying to improve as an editor so I can, and just like filming stuff on the spot so I can avoid letting that happen again. If you ever notice like small technical problems like that, again, I can't promise they won't ever happen again. I will promise I'll get better at it though. I will promise that I will do a better job as I continue to do this, because I do pick up on these things. I do notice them as I'm making them. I do notice these little errors or little problems that need to be fixed. And I really want to do my best to fix all of them. And I'm rambling so much in this. I'm sorry. That's what these are going to be like, by the way. If you're still listening to this thing, good. You're someone who would actually probably enjoy these. But this is exactly what they're going to be. I'm going to try not to do retakes. If I really feel like I like screwed up, I will. But I really just want this to be like exactly what's on my head, and I'll stutter and I'll like repeat myself and I'll ramble a little bit. But I want it to be completely 100% from me. I'm looking for more work, freelance wise, and maybe even like working for another company. I've been working for a company for 2.5 years now, and they've been great to me. But I would like to, I'm only working 2 days, so I'd like to find another company and kind of do them both at the same time. Freelance work has been going good. I just got another client, and although it is a job that I'm not doing for a while, it's something that they thought ahead for. So work-wise, it's going good. School, I'm finishing up. I have one more class that I have to take, and then I'm graduating, and I probably will transfer to another school after that, just because, I don't know, I feel like I improved. Like, I feel like college was actually helpful to me. A lot of people say that film degrees will get you nowhere, and I mean, I don't know where these people are looking for jobs. I don't know how accurate that is. I do know a lot of people who graduate from my college who like started working immediately. So I don't think that's entirely true that you can't get anything from a film degree. Although technically mine is a TV radio degree, and I don't know if there's a difference. Maybe that's a lot better though to have, because you can actually start working for like a network or a station. But I got a lot of experience from college. I got better at editing from college because I took the right classes, and I do think that college is helpful for me, so it's been a good experience. I know it's not always for everyone, but it's actually been a really good experience for me, so I would like to transfer. I did take some time to think about it because I wasn't sure if I just wanted to, start working more after I was done with college, or if I wanted to continue college. I do think I'm going to continue it. I do think that's what would be best for me. Getting personal with this, talking more about my own life, my own pet peeves of my own work, rather than what's actually going to be focused on. Tomodachi World's probably going to be a big focus this month because I have like all the audio. Like, everyone did their lines for the next 4 episodes. So I just gotta like take time to work on that, edit that. So yeah, now that I have all the lines done, I'll probably do that. And yeah, what else? Rise of the Critics. There's gonna be a month where I'm gonna work on a lot of those. And I might get the next episode done this month, but I might choose not to focus on it at all because I'd prefer to focus on Tamagotchi World and Cameraman. So those are likely going to be my main priority. Another thing you could probably expect this month, if I do take one day to set aside to work on them, is a lot of behind the scenes and vlogs from when we were shooting the Hanukkah special. There's actually tons of vlogs and like behind the scenes videos that I think are hilarious that we could put on the Explode Network. And I actually do think they're really funny. I would love to get them up. Of course, I'm doing Duckcast with Zach since he's the editor. My voice just cracked there. Of course, since Zach's the editor, it's a lot less work on me. So really, it's an hour of my time every night we decide to record it. And I have a missed phone call, but it's probably a spam number. I've been getting a lot. I have 6 missed. What the? One of them's Nick. I'm gonna have to call that back actually. Okay, sorry, I got distracted there. Shouldn't look at my fucking phone while I'm recording this. I'm not professional with this sort of thing. So yeah, you know what? I'll just wrap this up, and I've gone on long enough. Duckcast never really is a problem at all, so expect more of that. I'm about to be on Chris and Olivia of Stupid Smash Bros channel, because they have a podcast called Real Talk, and they had Jackie from Rich Alvarez as their first guest, and I believe I'm their second guest. There might be an episode or two that's coming out before, but I believe I'm going to be the second episode. So I'll link that in the description. Check that out, because I'm going to be on that soon, and if you like Duckcast, you'll like that. Zachary's Metal Mouth Says Stuff is out, and it's a wonderful show. I listened to the first episode, really enjoyed it. I think that Zachary will actually be, since this is going to be his focus for the next 2 years, I actually do think Zachary is more than capable of putting on an interesting podcast. So definitely check that out. I have Derailed episode 3 coming out very soon. This one was actually with me, Tariq, and Brent. So if you want to, Brent honestly has not been in a lot of behind the scenes stuff, or really ever has, but he was on one episode of Duckcast. But I mean, it'll be interesting to hear from him. And really, Tariq has never been on one of the podcasts that we've done on any of the channels. So that'll be interesting too. Hear from him. It's a very funny episode, actually. It's my favorite episode of the 3 so far. I love having Tariq and Brent on. It was a lot of fun. And so that's podcast-wise. My main focus, what the whole point of this video is to say what I'm going to focus on. I will be active on YouTube this month because I do actually have a decent bit of time. Ooh, almost knocked over a bottle. I actually do have a decent amount of time this month to work on stuff because, work is keeping me busy and school is keeping me a little bit busy. But for the most part, I actually do have a lot of time until I get another editing job. So while I'm waiting for people to respond to my demo reel, hopefully I will continue to do YouTube stuff, maybe even gather more things for that demo reel, more future demo reels, I guess I should say. And I will be active this month, and I will be working on Tamagotchi World and Cameraman probably as the main priority of this next month. I'm sure that will change by March, but we'll see what happens. And so yeah, I rambled on way too much in this. I'm sorry. Hope I get better at it as the months go by. But quick recap: Bemis and Company going on detour, Cameraman and Tamagotchi World main focus for the month. Duckcasts, more Duckcasts coming out, obviously. Derailed episode 3 will finally be released, and I think it's my favorite one. I'm going to be on Real Talk. I'm going to be on Metal Mouth Says Stuff, which is Zachary's podcast, and a lot of vlogs will be coming out. A lot of vlogs. I mean, actually a lot. We recorded, there's enough for 5 of them with the Hanukkah special, because I'm not going to make it one video, because that ended up being probably a 20-minute video, and we don't need that. We'll go for a bunch of 5-minute videos. I think a lot of them can fit into a different theme, because I have different stuff from the night Nick came over, different stuff from the night Tariq and Fred were over, different stuff from when my brother was over. I think it'd be better to separate them. And I actually have a really fun little podcast. It's kind of like a podcast, because it's just audio of Zachary teaching me the Hanukkah song I sung in the video, him teaching me a little bit of Hebrew, and it's a funny discussion. I'll put that one up too. We've actually meant to put that up for Duckcember, which completely failed. I was horrible at getting those videos out when I said I would, but hopefully I can make up for it by uploading a lot, just being active this year on the Duck Brigade, more active than I was last year. Okay, that's everything. I'm gonna let this go to 20 minutes just for the hell of it. Let's leave it off there. I burped one more time. That's a great way to end this off.